could you potentially be with a man that makes less money than you? This has
let's
always
spice
been
it up.
an interesting topic to talk about.
It's yes, I could. It's not that interesting to me. I could. It's not a thing I really think about.
Yeah, I agree with Taylor. I mean, I understand that there are certain standards that people have for themselves that are in this space, and it becomes a very spicy topic on the internet because we get to these extremes with it.
Mhm.
But the reality is, why, and what? Like, what would they need to make, and why would they need to make it? So, if I'm going to be with someone, the amount of money that they make is really only relevant if they are unable to do the things that I like to do. It doesn't matter that they make as much as me or more than me. It's just like, can we live the same kind of lifestyle? But also, I'm 37 years old. So this does not apply to, say, a 22-year-old woman in the same way that it applies to me.
I did not know that she was 37 years old. I mean, I guess I never thought about that age in the first place, but I always wonder in general why women that are pretty, 37, intelligent for the most part, right? And I guess we all know the reasons why. But then you would have to really dig down into their dating history to really understand what happened at what time with what person and who they chose to be with and who they overlooked. And that's the deep dive that I'm talking about. And those are the real conversations that I think that people are unwilling to have because they'll give a general idea of what they want and what they don't want, but we're all colored by our past. And so for a woman that talks the way that she talks, is 37 years old and is not married, is that a red flag or is that just by choice? Is that a woman that you can say, well, she chose her career, but then at the same time, did she absolve herself or did she remove herself from the possibility of getting love? Or is it just a situation where her choices in men was just bad choices and it never worked out, right? Because you can't necessarily just throw labels on people and say, well, they bitter or whatever. But to be 37 years old and be having a conversation and saying, could you, instead of are you, is wild. Let me hear the full context about whether or not they would date a dude that make less than them.
Been in the workforce for a very long time. I have all of the things that I need to provide for myself. So it's not really a conversation about money. It's more about passion. To me, I just want to be with
It's
somebody
always
who
about
is
money.
passionate about what they do. Are you excited about your career, or are you excited about the next step in your life? You know, how much money you make is really irrelevant. What is relevant to me is that you have passions and you are, a disciplined person who enjoys what you do. And if you
As long as they don't have to cover the majority of the bills. You know what I'm saying? See, all of that passion stuff go out the window when they have to then make sure that they covering half of the bills. If they, especially when they're not used to it, when they used to temporary situationships that give them that jolt of energy, like crack cocaine or something like that, where a dude comes in and wind it down and then they not there no more. Whereas you got to build a life with somebody and you got to go through the ebbs and the flows and whatever it is. I have a hard time believing, and I'm just gonna take this at face value. I have a hard time believing that they are okay with dating a guy based off of character and personality only, and that what they do for a living don't matter. I absolutely positively believe that what they do for a living matters. You're not gonna convince me of that, bro.
you don't enjoy what you do, what are you doing to change that? So the amount of money that someone makes is really not very relevant to me. I mean, I have a saying that really generally pisses people off, but the only thing a man can do for me is love me.
Cap.
Like,
Why does that piss people off?
well, because we live in a patriarchal society where that is just not accepted. Like, I don't need someone to pay my bills. I don't need someone to get me to Cannes. I don't need someone to, advance my career. I don't need someone to introduce me to, rooms that I can't get in. And that's not meant to be like masculine or dismissive of what men provide. I just think that I truly can look at men for human beings and for what they are from a value perspective. What kind of person are you? What kind of love do you provide? What kind of, relationships do you have with your friends and your family? What do you enjoy doing? How do you like to spend your day? Like, those are the things that matter to me, because whether or not you can provide for me is not something that I even think about. And
Because it's just something that you automatically expect, I think. And I think that this is a genuine sentiment from her. And again, we just taking this at face value. I think that this is a general sentiment because I do, obviously, she has a career. Obviously, she's relevant and she's been working for a long time. And I'm sure that she makes a decent amount of money. And all of that is true. I think she can get into all of those rooms on her own. However, if that be the case, and this is the sum total of this conversation, if that be the case, why, if you're only looking at somebody based off a character and whether they have love and goals and ambitions and, whether or not they love their family, that should be easy for you to find somebody to settle down with, then, right? Unless you just don't want to settle down with somebody. That should be a very easy thing for you to then say, okay, cool. If this is the criteria that I'm looking at somebody, and it's not their bank account, it's not their relevancy, it's not, whether or not they run up the bag or whatever and all this other stuff, then it should be very easy for you to find a person that's your person, right? If it's all character and all personality and all love and how you treat your family, it should never be an issue for you to easily be able to find your person if it's not surface level, superficial, and financial.
like, that's the long way of what I think Taylor's saying.
But
Yeah, me, I'm just like, yeah, I would. No, I mean, I agree. It's like when I am thinking about my partner, like my partner now, I'm not thinking about, okay,
I can't stand when women say my partner. I don't know where we got that from, but I guess that they feel like they're on y'all level, so it's easy for them to say my partner.
financially, what does this person provide? Because I'm not in any need of anything financially. And when I am looking to date someone or be with somebody, it doesn't even enter into my purview. Like, is this person going to be supporting my life? Because I'm not entering into relationships for the financial aspect of what men provide. To Joy's point, I want them to have something that they're passionate about. I want them to have something they're working towards, to make a living for our lives to still be, what I want my life to look like. But there is no part of me that says, okay, they make less than me, I can't be with them, or okay, this person makes more than me, I can be with them. I'm so much more. I mean, I'm 32, and I'm just so much more concerned with how they love me, if I am being appreciated and respected and cared for and seen, how I love them, how I make sure that they feel appreciated and cared for as well. That the money is just not a thing that is always at the front of my mind. And I want to be very clear. That's also probably a luxury that Joy and I have. We're not having to think about money when we're thinking about partners because we feel very set. We feel like our lives are put together. I'm in no way saying if women care about money that they're wrong. I'm just saying for me, and I think for Joy as well, money is maybe a cool addition, but it's not the thing for me.
I just think that that is a genuine statement. I think that they probably believe that, but I think that is because they're not in a situation where they have to make a sacrifice for it. I'm curious as to what y'all think. We gonna extend this conversation over the after hours. Let me know what y'all think. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life. That link is in the description. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm curious as to what y'all think. Leave a comment. And then make sure you hit a like and a subscribe and turn on your notifications. I'm out.